Hello, welcome to BioGreat TV. If you're new here, please subscribe and turn on the notification so you don't miss our next video. Traditional rulers that fought colonialism in Senegal. Africa, like most of the world, is a male-dominated continent. It is the males that hold the most political and economic power, and as such have more opportunities to make a name for themselves. But a few times, events occur that somehow set the stage for a woman to take charge and prove true the saying that what a man can do, a woman can do better. One of such women who had that opportunity was Ndaté Yalla Mbodj, and she used it to fight against French colonialism in Senegal. Ndaté Yalla Mbodj was born around 1810 to the royal family of the Waalo Kingdom in present-day Senegal. She went on to become the last great Lingeer, which means Queen, of Waalo Kingdom. Ndate was crowned Lingeer of Waalo on the 1st of October 1846 in Ndar, the capital of Waalo. She reigned as queen from 1846 to 1855. In early 1847, she stood up to the French who wanted free passage for the Soninkes who supplied the island of St. Louis, a French colony, with cattle. The French accused her of going against an existing treaty by stopping a herd of oxen that a Frenchman bought from Soninke merchants who were delivering the goods. She had taken 16 of the 160 in the herd while allowing the rest to pass. The French then stated that she would become their enemy if she failed to return the oxen in her possession. The queen was unshaken and replied the French governor in a letter on the 18th of June, 1847, stating, "We have wronged no one. Waalo belongs to us. That is why we guarantee the passage of livestock in our country. For this reason, we charge 1/10 and shall never accept any other thing. St. Louis belongs to the governor, Kayor to the Damel, Jolof to the Borba, Fouta to the Almami, and Waalo to the Brak. Each of these chiefs governs his country the way he deems fit." Queen Ndate, along with her husband Marosotase, who was commander of her army, continued to resist and fight the French army led by General Louis Faidherbe. This resulted in attacks in 1854 and ultimately the Battle of Diobuldi in 1855. The battle raged on for months with Queen Ndate and her husband fiercely resisting the French army. Seeing the brave and unrelenting resistance the Waalo army was putting up, Faidherbe brought in new weaponry and an extra 15,000 soldiers and 400 horsemen. With this, he overwhelmed the Waalo army, and on the 25th of January 1855, the French destroyed Waalo and got complete victory on the 31st of January. Even then, the queen remained defiant. After her defeat, she made a speech to her people saying, "Today we are invaded by the conquerors. Our army is completely routed. The Tiedo, animist army of Waalo, valiant warriors though they are, have almost all fallen to the bullet of the enemy. The invader is stronger than we are, I know, but should we abandon Waalo to the hands of foreigners?" After the defeat, the royal family left for the city of Kayor, where they got protection from the king. Though the French threatened the king of Kayor to hand them over or be considered an enemy, they refused to do so. The queen lived in Kayor for the rest of her life, dying in 1860. Lingeer Ndaté Yalla Mbodj is remembered as a heroine in Senegal and one of the most famous women in their history. A primary school in St. Louis is named after her, and statues have been erected in her honor. Other traditional rulers who fought colonialism in Senegal in no particular order are the following. Lat Dior Ngoné Latyr Diop. Lat Dior Ngoné Latyr Diop was the king of Kayor, a Wolof state. He joined other Wolof and Fulani states to fight against French colonialism. At Kaolack in 1865, Lajor's forces teamed up with soldiers from Waalo, Ndiambo, and Ndar and attacked the French, but they were forced to retreat. After the French conquered Waalo, they invaded Kayore in 1865 in order to stop Lajor, who had been hindering the construction of a railway from Dakar to St. Louis. Lajor is said to have told the French governor, "As long as I live, be assured, I shall oppose with all my might the construction of this railway." True to his words, Lajor threw all he had against the French. It was not until the Battle of Dekil on the 26th of October 1868 that Lajor's forces were defeated. Faidherbe, who served as the French governor then, is reported to have said of Lajor's soldiers, "They can be killed but not dishonored." This praise has been adapted as the motto of the Senegalese army: "We are being killed, but we are not dishonored." In Dakar, the capital city of Senegal, there is a giant statue of Malo, the legendary horse of Lajor, near the Great Mosque. Maad Signig Kumba Ndoffene Famak Joof. Maad Signig Kumba Ndoffene Famak Joof was the king of Sine Kingdom. He began to rule in 1853 and continued as king until his death on the 23rd of August, 1871. Mahatkumba resisted French entrance into his kingdom. He refused a request for a mission to be built. He offered little protection to French priests who he considered spies. He also made trade difficult for French merchants. His opposition of the French came to a climax when the two forces decided to go against each other at the Battle of Longandeme on the 18th of May, 1859. With both armies having taken their positions, Mahatkumba's army charged at the French, but they were forced to retreat. They regrouped and attacked again, but the French military was just too strong for them, and they were ultimately defeated. After their victory, Governor Louis Faidherbe ordered that the capital city Fatick and its surrounding villages be razed down. After Mahatkumba was defeated and some of his provinces occupied by the French, he was forced into a treaty which he did not consider acceptable. The treaty included terms that would ensure freedom of French commerce, allowing the French a monopoly of trade, and give French traders the right to buy land and build stone structures, which Mahatkumba had earlier prohibited. He saw the treaty as a challenge to his sovereignty and threatened he would embark on another war with the French. He insisted that he remained king of Sine and was not ready to give up his land to the French. Mahatkumba's threats did not stop the French from exerting their dominance in Senegal. However, some of his actions actually did significant damage to the French economic base in Senegal, even though temporarily. To make the French yield to his demands, which included the collection of taxes from and recovery of some of the provinces that had been taken over, Mahatkumba decreed that all movement of cattle to Joal be stopped. The cattle were usually headed for Dakar. Also, peanut fields, which were a major source of income for the French, along with the transport infrastructure, were also destroyed. French traders in Fatick were equally subjected to constant harassment. In the 12 years that followed his defeat at Longandeme, Maad Signig Kumba did not relent in trying to fight the French and sabotage their administrative and economic efforts. In August 1871, he proceeded to Joal with the intention of taking it over, but he was assassinated by the French before he could accomplish that goal. What have we missed out of this history? Let's know in the comment section. Will it be ridiculous to subscribe to our channel? If no, please like this video, share, and subscribe to our channel.